So if we think that stress is just a normal part of our lives that we have to accept every day, but we're not acknowledging it, what are some of the symptoms of stress?
Well, the first one that I would say is probably poor sleep. So, when you have something that's stressing you out and you either wake up really early in the morning because you just can't sleep and that thing is going through your mind, and because of that stress, and what I have learned over the years is that that's actually a protective mechanism. So historically, and from the animal perspective, that if you are awoken early from your sleep in the early morning hours, that was for the ability for you to wake up and solve a problem. So it's in our biology.
Wow.
As that, but imagine, okay, that's okay. Once in a blue moon, that happens. You've got a stressful event. That actually happened to me today. I was stressed about something. I woke up really early. I went down to the computer, did my research. Then I was like, and I did a bit of yoga.
Yeah, good.
So when we talk to our special guest today, she'll be very happy about that. But I did a bit of yoga, got me grounded and centered again, and then I could go out. But had I not done that, had I not gotten up and dealt with that, then maybe tonight when I go to bed, I would have had the same issue. I would have had to wake up early again. And that's one of my tips again about dealing with your stress, is to deal with it in the moment. If something's stressing you out and you're not processing something in a healthy way, then deal with it in the moment and use some of the tips in today's show to help you to alleviate that stress so that it doesn't have to then prolong itself, because poor sleep, we know, we've talked about in other shows, affects our ability to detoxify. It affects our ability for our organs to regenerate when we're sleeping. It affects our beauty and our skin. So we have to get that restful sleep. So that's one symptom of stress. Another symptom of stress would be dietary changes. So either you have a little bit more appetite. So some people do the stress eating thing, which we've talked about in a previous episode when we talk about sugar addiction. But some people go the other way. When they're stressed out, they can't eat. So there could be some weight loss there. So that could be concerning as well. Because of course we know that we have to, eat and to sustain. But for a lot of people who are overeating, this could be a problem, right? So this is Mr. Fat.
What does that mean? What is Mr. Fat?
Well, this is what 5 pounds of fat looks like.
Okay.
So for anybody who's lost 5 pounds of fat, or has gained 5, or double this, 10 pounds, triple this, 15 pounds, I mean, this is a good visual. It's a
lot. It is.
It's a lot of weight. And as much as we think, losing 5 pounds, that's a task to get this 5 pounds off. So it's important to know that stress is very much related to our waistline and our cortisol levels. So it's important to make sure that we find the balance and, take care of our adrenal glands. That's where our stress hormones are created, to take care of that so that we don't have to pack on Mr. Fat when we don't need it, obviously.
Wow, that's a big one.
Another symptom of stress would be changes in exercise patterns. So some people, when they're stressed out, they actually will over-exercise and do a lot of exercise as an outlet for the stress. So there's a happy medium of a balance there. And then some people will become more sedentary and have less activity because they're stressed out. Another symptom of stress would be increased sleep. So some people that are really, really stressed out and maybe going towards a more depressive type of behavior may sleep a lot more. They just can't get up in the morning. And that would be, if you have a loved one, certainly in your family, that you recognize that this is happening, you definitely, reach out to them and help them and see how you can help maybe with, deal with some of those symptoms of stress. And another symptom of stress would be increased watching of television.
Oh, okay, really?
So this goes hand in hand. So think about everybody who was home during the pandemic and binge watching a lot of programs.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Sure.
And that was an outlet for dealing with stress. So that would be one of them. Another one with the kids is the video game, and not even just kids, but older adults as well who play the video games. That is an outlet for stress. So if a little bit's okay, but too much of anything, we know, is not healthy.
Yeah.
So my tip for dealing with some of the symptoms of stress is a really simple one. And this is one of the things that I love. Essential oil of lavender. Ooh. So lavender is multifunctional essential oil which is relatively safe, you know, in terms of essential oils for most people, and it's one of the only essential oils that you can actually use undiluted. And
May I? Thank you. Oh, I love that.
it is just
Love that.
so
nice.
lovely and very calming. So what you can do is, and I'll actually do it right now, is I've done this a few times today, is put just a couple drops on, and this is how I usually do it, so go ahead if you want to do this, a few drops on your wrist.
Okay.
And then what I do is I'll inhale it a little bit, and then I bring it right around my neck, and then wherever I think in the pulse points here, you can put it too,
nice.
and it's just, you can do this a couple times a day. Some
Guys
people-
too? I mean,
Yeah,
you think?
absolutely.
Yeah, okay,
Why not?
'cause, yeah.
It's just so calming. And another thing you can do is to put a few drops on your pillow at nighttime. So if you know you've got insomnia and your sleep is affected by your stress, this is a great way.
I like that.
This is great for pets as well. They again, you have to check with your vet and make sure that this is something that's recommended and you don't want them ingesting it. But
Right.
great for the children as well. So really an easy tool that you can implement. You can put it into a vaporizer into the room so that you have the essence of lavender, and it really goes a long way. And it's not just because it smells pretty and it's great. It actually has been proven. So I have a study that actually shows that the pharmacological mechanisms of lavender, which is lavandula angustifolia, essential oil on the central nervous system and dealing with the serotonin receptors, which is, you know, such an interesting thing to say that, yes, it actually has been studied in the literature to find the pharmacological effects of something as simple as, you know, again, what Mother Nature gives us. And she gives us so many tools, and yet we just don't always know how to use them. So that's a great tip to be able to relieve stress. To do it naturally helps to relax the nervous system and the central nervous system, and doesn't really have the negative side effects, which are unfortunately associated with a lot of the conventional methods of, you know, dealing with stress.
It's so nice to know that Dr. Janine will be online during the show to answer your comments, your questions, subject matter ideas that you have. So leave those comments in the comments section below. And remember to like and subscribe and share the video, and click the bell too so you never miss another episode. And speaking of other episodes, you can check out previous episodes on YouTube if you would like to see what you've missed, or go over some of the other things that we're referring to, for example, even in this show. And also, be sure to follow Dr. Janine on Instagram, on Facebook, also on TikTok, at Dr. Janine. That's DoctorJanine, every Monday, 7 o'clock, with a naturopathic doctor, and answers, or questions with natural answers, really, with the Dr. Janine Show.